So today I spent the majority of my day in Harlem. My main territory, actually, and if people don't know, I do sales, territory sales for a distributor. It's called Desort Seven Sons, and we sell wine and spirits. I do not sell wine and spirits out the trunk. I'm not coming to your baby shower. I'm not coming to your wedding reception. I'm not pulling up to the park selling y'all two for ones. That's not how this works. So what I do is I actually sell through a distributor. So I need to sell to people that actually have liquor licenses. So the majority of my clientele will be bars, restaurants, liquor stores, anybody with a liquor license. So that could just be it's a different types of liquor licenses are also exist, right? So you can have like a one-off party, things like that. But I can provide for that. So if you have an event space and you plan some sort of event, I'm your girl. So today, there's a liquor that's very, very popular. I'm selling Shinju Japanese whiskey. Shinju Japanese whiskey happens to be a black owned brand. And so that also means that it's very popular in Harlem. Harlem has a lot of upscale African restaurants. So, which is really interesting for me because as a Brooklyn girl, it's like in Brooklyn, you get African food, but it's mostly like when you kind of like off of like Folsom and Bedford and you go to the African spot and you just kind of like get your food by the pound. So it's still good food, but the experience is not really like upscale. In Harlem, there's a lot of upscale African restaurants, and it's just very interesting for me. It just so happens that there's a lot of East African liquor store owners in Harlem, which I just find interesting. When I'm in Brooklyn, people just assume I'm just some kind of Caribbean, which is cool. Like, listen, whatever you take me for, whatever your experience is, if you think I'm from this country or that country, it's never an insult to me. Like, I cannot take offense to you saying, like, oh, are you Jamaican? Like, yeah, okay, well, that's what you think. Like, I'm not having a conversation with nobody that I don't know where it just might go on longer than I need to get the things that I need done. So sure, I'm Jamaican today. So I get Jamaican sometimes. I get Trini sometimes. Just depending on how I wear my hair, depends on how people receive me. So today I got my forehead completely out. So, I don't really know what's going to happen, right? So I don't know. But when I'm in Queens, usually people really assume that I'm some kind of West Indian. I usually get like some kind of like Trini or Guyanese. When I'm in Brooklyn, people think I'm Jamaican, they think I'm Haitian. It's never really just African. But the interesting thing about being in Harlem is that people always know that I'm African. They just don't necessarily know what I am, but they love to call it out. Like, girl, is that my sister? But it's never like, oh, I'm from your country or the adjacent country. It'll be like somebody from Mali calling me out. But it's always interesting what they call out. So today, somebody actually, an Ethiopian person, thought I was Somali, and I thought that was interesting. Like, I don't think I really look Somali. I told you guys I did my ancestry DNA. I came up like almost 10% Ethiopian Eritrean. I was like 0% Somali. So I just thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, because of the forehead, isn't it? It's the forehead. But somebody thought I was Somali, and I was like, I'm actually not Somali. I'm Tanzanian, and my mother has roots in Rwanda. And then the guy says to me, he says, well, I could tell. You actually when you say that because you have your mother's eyeballs. I was like, oh, that's Africans have such a unique and interesting way of just being, of describing things. I can tell you are from Rwanda because you have your mother's eyeballs. I said, oh, child. Okay, great. I go to another spot and they're really super friendly. Again, again, keep in context that like if the people are East African, they're going to be Ethiopian or Eritrean. That's just kind of what it is around Harlem. You're not meeting Tanzanians. I have met a Tanzanian in Harlem. And you know what I did? I called my mother. My mother started speaking his local language, and he was like, "Why the f does she know my local language?" I said, "My mama crazy. Mama Cokes is not. Mama Cokes is different." This man is almost in tears. Like, what? My mother knew his sister, his family. My mama just, she outside. So. Then I went to the next spot and the guy says, hey, you're African, aren't you? I said, I am. What do you think I am though? Like, where do you think I'm from? What kind of African you think I'm from? He says, are you from Uganda? And I said, actually, that's a very, very good guess. I think Uganda is, if you're going to try to clock what I am, I think Uganda is actually an excellent guess. So I was very impressed with that for the first time out. And again, in West African guy. And I said, no, it's not Uganda. So then his second guess was Mozambique. And I was like, well, that's not it either. That's kind of a little off to me. Then he went with Kenya. I liked that. I thought that was also very good. That was a very good. So Uganda and Kenya were very good guesses. And then he also went with Somali. And I was just like, what is with the Somali thing? Because Somali talk, they're very like, they're not friendly. I'm not mean to anybody, but Somali talk are very, very not nice people. Like then it came from me. I'm like, yo, what did I do to y'all? And then I went to another bar, again, just show them the product that I had. And the guy, the bartender, and actually the bar manager, he comes from behind the bar and he walks out because he was just like handing something to somebody, and he sees me because I was sitting down, child. Now all of this is near 6 feet, okay? But all of this is all of that. Like I don't be advertising advertisement. I don't put it all out there. They man walked me behind there. He's like, "Oh, you are Tanzanian." He's like, "I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's just so obvious now." Because he's looking down there like, "Oh, that's Tanzanian. That's real." I was like, "I told you, brother." Like I take no offense. I deal with this every single day. I've dealt with this every single day of my life. So it's not, I'm not offended. You've done nothing wrong. You're just simply observing something and just making a comment based on that, but you're not being disrespectful. So you're not touching me, so that'd be one thing. But anyway, guys, happy holidays. Oh, but let me show y'all the hat that I've been wearing all day. And I have another video to upload about that too. So this is the hat I've been wearing all day, and just kept it very simple. Slick my hair back, you know, wash it. It's in a bun, and I don't know. It's like whenever I stick my hair back, it just kind of gets straight. I don't get the waves y'all be getting, child. I don't know. I need some waves, child.